But if the plumber had a half a page ad in my paper and it was costing him 4 cents, and the paper came to the house and there was something else I wanted in the paper, or there was some articles that I didn't read in the paper yet, so now the paper's laying around my house. Now somebody comes to visit me and they stuff up the toilet bowl. 2 weeks later, I get a fat guest, 400 pounds, and he stuffs up the toilet bowl. And there's the plumber's ad in my paper with the free estimate. My paper is not 10 times more effective than any other media out there. It's 50 times more effective. The internet people, forget about it. You know what happens when the paper keeps coming to the house and they keep seeing the business's name over and over and over. Sammy's Shoes, Chris's Pizza Place, Hometown Mall, whatever they keep seeing, they remember what they've been seeing and they get familiar with it. It becomes trustworthy. And so when it's time for them to look up that business, even if they don't have the paper, they go to the internet and they search for the guy who's been sending the papers to the house, whose name they heard of. Because you just punch in shoes, you're going to get Payless. You're going to get the big chains. You punch in pizza, you're going to get Domino's. You're going to get Papa John's. So the internet doesn't work for the independent businesses that I'm looking to get business from anyhow, you know. And they know that. By me, people would advertise on billboards. And what I would tell these billboard advertisers is, number one, what kind of offer can you make to me when I'm going 50 miles an hour? And the same people travel the same road over and over and over again. So you're really not hitting a lot of people. You're hitting the same group of people over and over. The Yellow Pages, they had page after page of lawyers. Page after page. Look it up for yourself, of accountants. When you go to the Yellow Pages, you're only going to pick one lawyer. So I would tell these guys, why are you bunched together with 50 guys all looking for the one phone call? Take a full page with me. I'll give you an exclusive. And so for $750, I give a guy a full page, and now he have any competition. He could become the name brand in the community. And it doesn't take long, just a few issues. It's so easy to beat all my competitors, to get all the other medias, their customers, and steal them away from them. It was so easy. Sometimes a guy would leave flyers in my mailbox in my community, and there was 350 houses there. They'd stick color flyers in the bottom part of the mailbox. They couldn't go in the mailbox, that's illegal. They'd put it in the bottom. They'd spend 10 hours driving through my community, inching along and sticking their arm out and putting if it rained, all their flyers got wet. It was a total waste of the day and money. Anyhow, when I would call these guys, because I'm probably the only one that called, I would call them when I got a flyer, and I would tell them, hey, look, I got your flyer. Oh, they'd be jumping up and down. Wow, really? I just put it out yesterday. I'd say, yeah, I know. And I'd say, well, I just wanted to let you know. I said, how many hours did it take you to go through the community? Oh, 10 hours. I says, what'd you use? About a half a tank of gas? Yeah. I says, well, listen, there's 350 houses. Those color flyers, they're 20 cents each. Yeah, how'd you know? I said, so you spent $70 on flyers. You spent 10 hours in the community. You spent a half a tank of gas. You figure you spent maybe close to $200. Yeah, maybe. I says, well, listen, for $100, I'll give you a full color ad in my newspaper, and I'll send it to 10,000 homes all surrounding my house where you dropped off the flyer. What? They felt so stupid. Then sometimes, if I got bored, I would call somebody who was leaving the business cards around, and I would explain to them, hey, listen, I picked up your business card. Oh, they'd get all excited with that too. And I'd say, yeah, but you know, none of the successful businesses, they ever leave the business cards around. And to be honest, I'd never have anyone come into my house that just left business cards around and didn't invest in their own business. I'd be scared, and I wouldn't trust them. I mean, you want bonded people coming to your house, legitimate people, people that are going to spend money on their own businesses. At least if a guy's got an ad in a paper, then you know he's some kind of a legitimate business. So it didn't matter what kind of advertising they were doing. I would collect all the papers, all the magazines, all the newspapers, whatever I saw anywhere on TV. And the TV people, those people I would stumble into because I watched Netflix, so I never saw their commercials. And my wife would watch the pastors all the time. And then when I got to them, they'd say, "Don't you see me on TV?" I said, "No." And I would tell them. And then I would tell them, and I'm not alone. What are the odds of someone catching you on TV? And they'd, Oh, anyhow, then I would sell people even that weren't advertising. Sometimes I'd go in because I was in the strip mall. And the guy'd say, "Well, I don't advertise." I'd say, "Well, of course you're advertising." "I don't advertise." I says, "Well, I see you got here 20 foot of frontage." I says, "It's probably costing you about 9-10 grand a month to keep this place open." "Yeah." I says, "Well, what do you think that is?" I says, "You're paying $500 a day for 20 feet of frontage, and I never knew what was in here, and I'll bet you everyone in my community don't know what's in here." "Really?" I says, "Yeah." I says, "Well, I do a good business." I said, "But imagine if we all knew what you had in here." I says, you're advertising, you don't even know it. I says, "Are you going to make a wedding and hire a band and buy a wedding dress and spend for catering and not send out the invitations? Isn't that insane?" Boom! There was nobody who could get away from me. And like I say, when they were in the coupon vehicles, once I gave them the story with my advertorials, oh, were they happy. They hated giving away the advertising. They hated giving away their money in discounts, And like I said, you don't have to do that. Read this. Wow, yeah. The tradespeople, they're all about getting into the house. I had so many HVAC people in my book and landscapers, lawn guys. I mean, they're all about reaching the homeowner. There's nothing like targeted direct mail. Some of you guys get the red plum. It's the same as the red plum. Again, so it doesn't matter how big the business was, where they were advertising. They all signed on because my advertising was cheaper than a business card. Like I say, I was mailing $10,000 a month. The guy took the smallest ad. It was $100. It's a penny a house. 10,000 business cards cost $650 from Vistaprint. You'll take those 10,000 business cards to the grave with you. This product is the greatest ever. It doesn't matter if I'm competing against a $200,000 magazine franchise. None of them are as good as the product that I teach my students to put out. And with the sample paper in hand, it's impossible not to sell the advertising. If you don't sell the advertising, that means you didn't go out. That means you didn't turn the page, because whoever been going out with my sample paper sells the advertising and starts a successful business. There's a saying, and it's very true. You're only as good as your product. This product is the greatest. There's nothing that can compare with it. I chased all the other medias out of my territory. Now, that's the direct mail facet of my business. There's another thing that I've been teaching people to do, and it's pre-priced papers. And you don't have to do any selling. I mean, you don't have to do any selling with the targeted mail vehicle either. But with this vehicle, you're just putting out your pre-priced papers. These are the mugshot papers. You must be familiar with them. They're all over the country. This is the joke paper. They're pre-priced $1.59. They're 12 pages. They're all color. On my website, I got all the videos from the mugshot paper, from the news channels, talking about all the different mugshot papers and how great they're doing and what kind of commotion they're making in the neighborhood. I mean, it's unbelievable. Why? Everybody wants to know who's in jail, who did it, which of my neighbors did it. And listen to this, when you watch the videos, some of those mugshot publishers, they're going to tell you, some of them got masks on their face. They're hiding because the criminals are looking for them. But listen, don't worry. My mugshot papers use fake people, fake criminals. Don't worry. We distort the faces. I'm here on the mugshot paper. You could put all your friends there. You could put your family there. There's no repercussions and nobody knows. You don't publicize this, but you just put in the funny stories with the mugshots just like they're known. You know, wife turns in husband for stealing her cocaine, you know, all kind of crazy nonsense, stupid criminals, funny stories, but the people, they get addicted to the mugshot paper, they get addicted to the joke paper, and you get 10,000 papers under a dime a piece. That's under $1,000, and you drop these 10,000 papers off by different stores. You give them each a bundle of 100. Oh, this is what a bundle looks like. Oh, that's a bundle of 100 papers. It's nothing with nothing. Oh, but anyhow, the mugshot papers and the joke papers, they sell like crazy. The money is unbelievable because, like I started to say, they're pre-priced $1.59. You bring them into the stores and you tell the storekeeper to put them on his counter. Every one he sells, he makes 50 cents. You go back a month later and you collect $1.09 for all the missing papers. You're going to get $109 back because if you took a month, your papers are really gone, you know. Sometimes they'll call you, come back, they're gone, you know. But the stores, they're all anxious to get your papers because it's an extra SKU for them to work with. And they just love it. Anyhow, everybody, and then once you start developing a business with the mugshot and the joke papers, they start selling more and more. The parents grab the joke paper to bring home for the kids. It's clean, it's family oriented. And the nosy bodies, which is practically all of us, grab the mugshot papers. And they're funny, it's entertaining. So, you know, that they just love it. Those products are hot, 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 hot. Now, I advise you to visit my website and consider signing on before your neighbor does. Now, this is the kicker. When you build up a route with the mugshot papers and the joke paper, and it's very easy. You buy the 10,000 papers. It costs you under $1,000. I teach you how to do it. We're designing your first page the first night. You'll watch me do it. You'll do some of it. You're going to love it. So now you get these 10,000 papers. They come bundled in 100. You drop off at 100 different stores a bundle of 100. Boom. So easy. They're all so anxious to sell the papers for you. I've had stops, supermarkets that got 6 registers. And the 6 registers, they sell a bundle a week. So one stop could sell 600 papers a week for you. That's $600 a week off one location. And you'll be making money while you sleep because the 24-hour gas stations and the bodegas that are open late, they're going to be selling your paper while you're sleeping. Unbelievable. Finally, you could make money while you're sleeping. And it's not one of those scams. You've been in those gas stations. You've been in those bodegas. You've seen those newspapers, those pre-priced papers, the magazines on the rack. You've seen it. You know that stuff is selling. And you don't gotta be selling it. The guy you drop the papers off at, he's paying the rent on the store and he's selling the papers for you. And if he's home sleeping, the guy he's paying to run the store is selling the papers for you. So it's unbelievable. You're gonna grab $109 profit right off this little bundle. You give the guy 50 cents, cost you 9 cents to print, boom, you got your dollar, you got your dollar profit on the thing. It's unbelievable. And you could start this business 3 hours a week, you could make $100,000 a year. Let's say you're working 60 hours a week, but you got Sunday off, so you take 3 hours on Sunday from 9 to 12, and you go out and you put out 25 locations, 25 bundles, 25 stops. So the first Sunday, 25 stops go out. The second Sunday, another 25. And the third and the fourth Sunday. Now you got 100 stops out there. You got your 10,000 papers out there. The fifth Sunday, you go back to the first 25 stops that you put the paper out. You collect your money and you give them fresh papers. And then the next week you go to the second set and you collect your money and you give them fresh papers. And so you're going to sell 10,000 papers a month. You're going to make $10,000 a month. That's $120,000 a year. And as your business grows, you'll make more. And even if you get a few papers left, you made your $100,000. It's unbelievable. The papers never go stale. It's not like produce. That's the same way the bread guy, and the chip guy, and the Little Debbie guy, and the hostess, and the candy guy, they're all doing what's called rack jobbing. That's what this is. It's newspaper rack jobbing, but you don't need no rack. You're going to put it right on the counter. And if the guy don't put it on the counter, tell him you don't need him, because everybody wants your paper. The list of stores that want your paper are on the website, funnewsfranchise.com. Everybody wants to take in a product on consignment where they don't have to invest any money and they could make money. And they're especially happy because you're not taking any money away from anything else. They don't have anything like it. And when you watch the videotapes about the mugshot papers, most of those guys are making a fortune. And you could see it on the videotapes. But they're all in the gas stations. My students are in all the stores, the restaurants, the bakeries, the butchers, the beauty parlors, you name it, they're in it. And they're making money because you know something? The gas stations ain't the only way to go. Not everybody gets out of the car and goes into the gas station for a pack of cigarettes. That's getting less and less and less. We're not smoking anymore. And if we are, we're ordering online like I am. Anyhow, all the drugstores, the bodegas, the dollar stores, the bowling alleys, the restaurants, the pizza places, the diners, every store in the strip is going to want to distribute the paper. And you're going to want to give it to them because you never know what store that customer is going to park his car at and go into. Now, the thing is, I know you've been looking for a business for a long time. And I know you've been looking at a lot of nonsense. And I know you know this is real. You could tell this is real. But you got to work with me. I can't help you if you don't let me. Stop procrastinating. Don't be afraid to call me up and ask me about your community. If you're afraid, send me an email. I'll still tell you about your community. And then, if you're really afraid, talk to somebody you know, somebody who's experienced and successful in business. Once they see this opportunity, they will jump at it. They will put you into this business. So remember, anything you want to do, if you want to do a targeted advertising type vehicle like Valpak, Clipper Magazine, Coffee News, a whole bunch of them, no problem. That's my specialty. That's what I was doing. If you want to do any other kind of franchise type magazine, Homes and Land, Auto Trader, doesn't matter. I teach you how to do it. If you want to do pre-priced papers like the mugshot or the joke papers, like the route service people, no problem. I teach you how to do it. And you know something? While you're doing your route business, you're also going to collect money on ads. you're going to get $400 for a quarter-page ad because people are going to see this in your paper, and they're going to call, and they're going to say, hey, how much is it? What about the advertising? And you're going to sell them. You'll get 2 or 3 little advertisers because you don't want to fill up your paper with advertisers, but you get 2 or 3 little advertisers in your pre-priced paper, and you paid for all the printing. I mean, you got everything with the pre-priced papers, and you could do it part-time. Oh man, this is the opportunity. That's why the Sharks wanted me to charge $100,000 and turn this into a franchise. But I didn't want to do it. I'm fighting them. I says I want to help the little guys like you, the guys that don't want to spend no money. The guys that want to start for free, that's the guys I want to help, and there's a whole video on my website, Start for Free. But remember, I can't help you if you don't reach out to me, and I can help you. And you know, once you build up the route with the pre-priced papers, then you could sell those routes for a fortune. You know how much a Boar's Head route costs today? Millions of dollars. Tropicana juice route, $1 million. The FedEx routes, forget about it. The little ones, they're not so much money, but man, and you know why there's so much money? Because all the guy does is go there, fill up the rack, whatever's missing, he collects the money for it. The same thing you do with the newspapers. So not only can you make a great living from day one with the pre-priced papers, but you can build this up and sell it. You can take any of the things I teach you and turn them into national franchise opportunities. You could become rich. I mean, I didn't bother. I didn't start my first paper till I was already retired. And I don't care. I don't feel like I want to work when I want to work. I like to do graphics, and I like to work with students. And I work around your schedule. Whatever's a good time for the students, that's a good time for me. So that's the whole story. There's a lot more on the website. Make sure you watch every category on the left. Make sure you watch every video. When you get to the home page, there's a playlist of 11 videos. If you watch those 11 videos, you'll know everything. And that's what you have to do. Knowledge is power. The Shark Tank, they tried to buy me, but I wouldn't sell. But I'll work with you, but they're still calling. They still want me to go back again. They cut my segment off the TV show because I wouldn't deal with them. But maybe one day I'll go back. But anyhow, visit the website. Call me up. I'll check on your community. If this opportunity or opportunities, you know, there's so many different ways you can make money with what I teach you, that it's really opportunities. And according to the Sharks, it's millions of dollars worth of opportunities. And you can start for free. If you want me to take you the whole limit, you'll sign on and I'll train you with some of my personal services for $1,995. I give you the softwares that you're going to need. I teach you how to design ads, advertorials, lay out the paper, do the bulk mailing. I tweak your ads. I spend hour after hour after hour working one-on-one with you. You don't have to hire me. I don't care. But either way, visit the website. Start for free. Don't be a stranger. I'm still going to check out your website and, you know, all of that stuff regardless. Just give me a call, send me an email. I'll check on your community, and my name is Art. Bye-bye.